So, welcome to the team meeting for every Wednesday. And today is June 23rd. Yeah, June 23rd, 2021. And we're going to be talking today about the keys for you to run a successful business from home. These are the keys to make sure that this works. And they may seem something like, wow, I already knew that. But I'm going to caution you on this one. When we say, I already knew that, that's when it's dangerous. And the reason is because being overconfident about something, but then your fruit doesn't show it, then I'm just going to caution you on that. So one of the first things, this is I guess number one, if you're taking notes, one of the first things that we absolutely have to narrow down is what is the value you're bringing to the marketplace. That is the key. Like that's number one. Like you need to understand what is the value that me as a person bring into the marketplace. So one thing that we always talk about is for you to actually look into what is it that you have as experience that you're bringing in, and what do you have as a person, like not only personal experience, but also what are your strengths. We have a system that is called GEMS. And in GEMS, you can study what is the four core personalities that most people in the world are broken down into. And we talk about a gem that's called sapphire, ruby, pearls, and emeralds. This is how it's broken down into gems. Why gems? Because people are a little bit rough when they don't understand their purpose. But once they understand their purpose, they become a polished gem. Okay. But most people have to really go through the pressure, the heat, everything that a gem has to go through in order to become nice and beautiful, right? So if you don't understand what's going to make your gem shine, it's really hard for you to see that in others. So if you understand your strengths, and if you understand what is the value you bring to the marketplace, then it's going to be easier for you to help people that come in as clients and coaches. But when we don't even understand ourselves, that's the hardest part right there. When we don't even know what we're about, because most people go to school, get good grades, get a degree, and go to a job. And then you're there and you're told what to do. And then you don't understand anything else but your job description. And then your identity becomes the profession you are exercising every day. Whatever profession it is that you do every day, then your identity gets stuck in there. So if you're a nurse, well, when somebody says, so, hey, let's say I'm gonna make for an example. Hey, Bianca, who are you? Most people, the first thing they say is, I'm a nurse. And they say their profession. Like they'll say what they do for a living. And that is the first thing that comes out of their mouth. But in reality, that's not who you are. That is a profession. That is just something you do to make money. That's not who you are. So most people struggle at the beginning of this business because this business really like um, allows other people to see who you are as a person, not exactly who you are in the profession you execute every day. They're actually looking for the person behind the vocation. Who are you? So if you don't have that clear, it's very hard for you to find that in others. So I want you to really understand this. Um, I would suggest that you grab the home study system for GEMS. I don't know if I've shared the link for that before, but I'll share the link for that again in the group. is really good for you to understand your gem. Now, what I'm gonna just quickly, so that you can identify yourself. Let's just say that I'm gonna go through the four gems right now. Number one is, let's go with sapphire. Sapphires are motivated by fun. If you're motivated by fun and everything that we do has to be by that, then that's you. Um, the next gem is pearls. A pearl is a person that is motivated by service and help. Like you live to help others and to be of service to others. That's what mainly motivates you. That's a pearl. The next one is an emerald. And emeralds are motivated by facts and figures. Really, an emerald likes things to be either black or white. They like things to be in order. So an emerald is motivated by facts and figures. And then the last one is a ruby. And a ruby is motivated by a challenge. These are people that are usually the front runners, the people that like to be first. They like to be the best. These are the rubies. These are natural born leaders. So if you identify yourself with one of them, that is your primary, your primary personality. Now, if you know this, you understand that you have strengths and then you're going to have weaknesses. And when you understand your strengths, you can bring that with you as your, um, like unapologetically be you, and be okay with it. Most people, when they show up, let's say to either a meeting, or they show up to an event, or they show up even on social media, most of the time is a front. And the reason it's a front is because there is something that happens to us. And if we're not sure about who we are, we tend to compare ourselves and we start looking at other people's profiles and we start looking sideways. And in business, the worst thing you can do is compare yourself. Never, ever, ever make that a rule. Never, ever compare yourself to another coach or another colleague or whoever it is. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Everybody has their own race to run. And if you understand this, you're going to appreciate yourself and you're going to appreciate your growth and how you're running your business, because you are your own competition. Please understand this from the beginning, that you are your own competition. You are to improve upon yourself every week. Look at your numbers. Look at the things you're doing. Look at the success rate of your clients. Look at the success rate of your coaches. Compare your business to your business 2 weeks ago. Compare your business to your business a month ago. So please do not compare your business to other people's business. Don't compare your profile to somebody else's profile. Don't compare your lifestyle to somebody else's lifestyle. We need to understand that our worth only, like it should only matter to us. That's it. Okay. Like don't allow yourself to start believing that someone should look at you in a certain way, or see you in a certain way, or perceive you in a certain way. Be unapologetically you. And this is why, some people come to us and they want to coach. And when we coaching them, we ask questions, and it gets to a point where we ask them, why are you not being yourself? And the first thing that pops out of their mouth is, well, I don't know what people are going to think of me. What would they think of me? What would other people say? So at this moment is when as a coach, I got to realize this person doesn't even know who they are. Because when you're not in touch with your power, personal power that you have, when you understand your strengths, you will be unapologetically you wherever you go, and it doesn't matter. When you have certainty of the value you bring to the marketplace, it doesn't matter who's next to you, who's in front of you, who's watching your profile, who's looking at your stuff. It does not matter because you're focused on a vision. And that's what happens when you identify the value that you bring to the marketplace. And the reason I'm saying this, the value, it's equal to the strengths that you have. And the more you learn about yourself, that correlates to the strengths. And that will make you unique as a coach. That means that people will choose you based on your uniqueness. And if you know yourself even more, oh my goodness, you're going to make the experience even more special for a person to come and join you. So every single one of us here have different experiences, different gems, different professions, different backgrounds. So no one here is ever going to be the same, ever. None of us here are in competition with each other at all. I could freely share to, let's say, an audience that is around Val, and I know that I'm not going to be able to pull anybody from Val's audience because they know her, not me. I'm not going to be able to pull them. So I don't want you to ever feel the the market is saturated with coaches, or that, oh man, there's a lot of people that are already in the space. No, no, no. There is a certain amount of people that can only be impacted by you. And you need to believe that. And if you don't believe that right now, then that means we have to do a little bit more soul searching as to why you don't believe you are unique. I know the creator did not make a mistake creating you. So if you understand your worth and you understand the value that you bring into the marketplace, my goodness, that is the first step, because your confidence in yourself, it's a big one. You're going to see that most coaches struggle with self-confidence. You're going to see it. If you're probably the type of person that doesn't, well, be ready, because in your team you're going to have people that do struggle with that. And you're going to have to understand their gem. You're going to have to understand where they're coming from and why is it that they feel, oh, I'm an introvert, I can't be sharing. I'm an introvert, I can't be making a video or go in public, when that has nothing to do with sharing. That is just a belief. So when we understand this, we can deal with people's drama in their mind as they get started. You know your worth, then you're going to be able to help other people understand their worth and what they bring to the marketplace. All right. So as I mentioned, this aligns with goals and the vision you have for your business. So once you know the value that you bring to the marketplace, you need to align that to, I would say this is point number 2, is having a vision for your business and goal setting for the things you want to accomplish. And when I set goals, I usually set them so that I can reverse engineer them. So what is reverse engineering? You want to break down the goal into bite-sized pieces. So if I set a goal for the next 6 months, at the end of the year in January, I want to be at a certain level. Let's just say I want to be at $1,000 a week as a coach. To be able to get to $1,000 a week, I have to have a certain activity to get there. Well, I got to break that down. So if I want to be at $1,000 a week, then how much product should be moving through my organization in order to have $1,000 a week? So I got to look at, okay, if it's everybody just simply on Shakeology in my organization, and I'm looking at the compensation plan for volume, I want you to just do a rough calculation. Is 10% of what you produce as volume. That's what you get paid for residual income. And when I say anything that has to do with volume and how you get paid with volume, this is rough, okay? I'm not telling you exact numbers, but based on the compensation plan, and you work really diligently to get to diamond, because at diamond is when your business really starts. If you're not a diamond coach yet, do what you got to do to go to emerald, make emerald coach, and work your way to go to diamond coach. At diamond coach is when you actually when you're going to see where all the payouts open up for you. You don't really see all the payouts that the compensation plan has until you hit diamond, because you're limited at emerald. At the first rank of emerald, your paycheck is limited to $250. I don't care what you do with volume, you won't get paid more than $250. Now, I'm not talking about, like, let's say you move a challenge pack and every challenge pack has a payout. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about residual income, passive income. My goal when I got started was to have passive income every week. And every year we have a goal to increase that passive income. So that means I'm on vacation next week and my paycheck does not skip a beat. It's the same. Why? Because you work every week to get it to that level. So you got to find out how many people have to be in your organization consuming product. So consuming, let's just say Shakeology. Shakeology is 90 points. Every time somebody consumes 90, it's because they're consuming Shakeology. So let's just say that we have a scenario in which you want to earn $1,000. So that means $10,000 has to be moving through your organization. Remember, I just said 10%. It's rough, right? So 10% is $1,000 out of $10,000 in volume moving through your organization. So how many Shakeologies have to be moving then? So you got to make the calculation. Divide 10,000 into 90. So what? Who has a calculator? I don't have my phone around here. What's that? What's the number?
111.11.
111. Okay. So what you gotta work towards is to have 111 people in your downline, left and right leg. Okay. We have a binary system on your left side and on your right side. You divide that number into two. So that means 500. What is it? 111, you said? 111. So let's just say that we divide that by two. That means like 55, 55. So let's just put 55 coaches on the left legs, 55 coaches on the right leg, everybody consuming their Shakeology monthly. That's $1,000 a week. So you create a goal and you say, okay, if I want to have a residual income, Beachbody will pay me 10% of whatever moves every week. So if you can move 10,000 points of just volume of people consuming the product, it doesn't have to be coaches only. It's coaches and their clients. It's a combination. So it doesn't have to be coaches only. A lot of people, like, they just think, oh my God, I gotta recruit so many people. No, you don't. You just have to um, teach your coaches to actually get results for clients, and clients will never get off of the product. So if you concentrate that when people come in, you help them get results, and they make this a lifestyle, you can just set it and forget it. We have customers in our organization that have been active since 2012, and they still have their Shakeology coming. But it has to do with you bringing success into their lives and changing their lives. So that's what you got to work on. And you say, okay, I want to be able to be at that level at the end of the year. Then how many people do I have to bring in every week to get to that level? Well, how many weeks are left in the year right now? We're in about to be July. So let's just count the last 5 months of the year. This is a rough estimate. Okay. So we got 5 months. How many weeks are left? I would say 21, 22 weeks. 21 or 22 weeks are left. Okay. So then we got to divide. We got to have 100 people consuming at the end of the year every week. So that means we have to have 400 people consuming in a month. So let's break it down. So if we have 400 people at the end of the year, then we have 22 weeks. Divide that by 22. What's 400 divided by 22?
18.
18. So this is the goal for every week somebody consuming at the end of the year. So let's go. What activity do I have to do so that I work my way up there every month? So if you divide the same number by the activity that you do every week, then if we divide it by 4, that would be 6, roughly 5 or 6, right? Like 5 people. So set a goal to get 5 people to start a new lifestyle every week. If you do this, by the end of the year, you're going to be at $1,000 a week income. And that's how I set goals. I just break it down from the end of the goal, where I want to be, and I break it down to activity I got to bring in per week. And then you can go an even step even further. If you got to get um, at least 5 people to get started every week, then what is the activity that can allow me to help 5 people a week? How many people do I have to be talking to get one? Just to get one. How many people do I have to be talking to? Now, this will be different for everyone, but you will only know this if you're tracking your business, if you're tracking who you're talking to on a daily basis. If you know how many people you're talking to, a ratio will appear. Let's say you're talking to 30, right? And in 30, one joins. Or let's just keep it simple for math. Let's say out of every 10, one joins. Out of every 10, one joins. Then how many people do I have to talk to get 5? Pretty simple, right? It would be what? Anybody?
50.
50 people. So if you set a goal and you already know your ratio, but the only way to know your ratio is to actually do the work of documentation. A business without documentation is not a business. You got a hobby. So when we talk about treat this like a business, gonna pay you like one. When we did that, that's when we hit 6 figures a year. When my wife and I got serious about tracking our numbers every year, well, not only I got serious because I wanted to pay less taxes. That's the reason I got serious. But she wanted to know what it took. And we started documenting our activity weekly. How many people did we talk to? How many people did we talk to? And we got to find out that if we talk to 250 people a week, we usually get 5 to 7 people a week. That's our number. So we maintain a certain activity if we want the same result every week. It may seem like you're disconnecting the purpose of connecting with people. It's not. Okay, you're not treating people like numbers. But at the beginning, you do have to understand that it's a numbers game because you got to get good at it. And the only way to get good at it is to practice and get in it and get in conversations and understand how to handle objections, how to handle the, I don't have the money right now. Well, I got to talk to my spouse. Well, I don't think I have time for that. You got to understand how to handle those. But the only way to get to understand that is to actually have conversations. Because you're going to evaluate yourself after every conversation. You're going to be like, damn, I blew that one. I should have told her this. Or, man, I should, why did I get so heated when she said that that she was serious, but she wasn't going to invest in it? What did I lost my cool. So you are going to go through a roller coaster of emotions because it's normal. You are human. This is a new deal for you, but it pays so well once you get good at it. I'm telling you, it pays amazing. I did not see the the possibility of me doing this full time too. But when my wife surpassed the six figures and then surpassed the double six figures, I was like, maybe I can come home. Maybe I can actually just hang it up at the job. I was in the Navy, and I was able to just retire and just leave the military. And I was like, I gotta replace. At that time, I was earning like 78,000 or something like that a year, and I was like, I gotta replace this income plus the housing that they gave us. That would bring it up to like 93 or 94,000, something like that. That I had to replace. And when I saw that our income was at 250,000 and it was only July, I was like, I gotta get out of here. So I started looking into the books even further. And I quickly understood we're gonna be paying less taxes. And if we really track this, this is gonna pay us like a business. And that's why many people come and do some consultation with me to understand how to systemize this business. And if you don't systemize it, you're gonna be self-employed. I want you to understand this. If you're not tracking your numbers and you're not tracking what you're doing, you're gonna end up self-employed to this business. And it's not gonna make any money unless you're there. But if you systemize this and you understand that is a numbers game at the beginning, then when your ratio appears, all you gotta do is be like, all I gotta do is create the activity and I got people coming in. You don't have to convince anybody. You know, the only time that people get into convincing people is when they lack contacts, when they lack people to talk to. And then you get into desperation mode and you start getting desperate and you start begging and you start trying to convince people. No, that's not how this is done. What we do, we document who we're contacting so that we know who to follow up with. That is systemizing your business. And once you have a business model that is down packed, this is how many I contact. This is how many I follow up with. These are how many I should turn into prospects every week so that I can have this result. You turn into a machine, and that machine will provide the desired income at the end of the year. And it's gonna be like second nature to you. Really. I get up in the morning and I already know I got a certain amount of activity I gotta do by a certain time. So I'm busy from around 10:30 to around 2:30, straight up in conversations. Just conversations. Conversations, that's all. And that's mainly the time that I spend. Out of that, I find out who's interested. The people that are interested become my prospects. And those that could become my prospect, they go into a list, a separate list from my contacts to a prospect list. And those I follow up with. Okay. So by the end of the week, we normally have 5 to 7 people signed up. That's just a week, a normal week for us, because we keep it to a certain level of activity. You have to identify what is that level of activity that you need to get into your business. And this is why it's so important that you have clear that your business is yours and it has nothing to do with the coach next to you. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Run your own race and set your own goals, because you have a vision with this. Use this business as a cash cow for you to get the goal that you want. My wife and I, we want to be able to invest more in real estate because we want rental income as we get older. Guess where that cash is going to come from? Mm-hmm. This business. We're using this business as a cash cow. Well, initially we used it to get out of debt, right? We got out of debt. We replaced our incomes from, she was a banker and I was in the military. So we replaced our income. We bought this house. I'm paying it down. We're halfway through already. In about maybe another year or two, it'll be paid off. We're using the money. We're not being freaking stupid and going out and buying a Mercedes or a Lamborghini or whatever. No, we'll leave that for later if need be. But we're not doing that. What our goals are is to be rich in rental income so that our kids don't have to worry about us. And that's our goal. I don't know what your goal is in the next 10 years, but I'm working towards our goal for the next 10 years. Right now, I'm 43. What would my 53-year-old self look like? I want you to have that challenge right now. Challenge yourself. 10 years from now, what age will you be? What is your age at 10 years from now? And I want that 10 years from now self tell you what to do now with what you have in your hands. What is it that yourself 10 years from now will tell yourself right now with what you have in your hands? I know my 10-year-old older self, my 53-year-old self will be like, dude, stop wasting time. Stop watching TV, man. Hey, stop being entertained. Get to work. Do what you got to do, because we got to go. We got to be here at this level at 53. But when you start looking at your life this way, your vision becomes clearer. And when you do it with your partner, when you do it with your husband, oh, it gets really real. So when my wife and I started talking about this and the lifestyle that we wanted, we're like, hmm. So if we want to be able to live the way we want to live, we got to have some really steady passive income. How do we get that? Well, aside from the business, because the business is never going to be guaranteed, okay? Nothing is guaranteed in life. So in the meantime, we're using this as a cash cow. And the money that's coming in, we're using it smartly. What I want to invite you to think is, how would you use this cash cow opportunity of a business to improve your lifestyle? You got some student loans? Use this cash cow. You got some debt that you got to get rid of? Use this cash cow. Help people get results. And if you keep that in your mind and you keep that as a focus, the only way that I can help people is to have conversations. I got to have activity every day. I can't just be overwhelmed and just get up in the morning with no plan. I got to have a plan. I got to get out there. I just got to start talking to people. The best tool right now is social media. But there's people that built this without social media because they're good at socializing and they talk to people. It don't matter if it's at the grocery store, they start talking to people. But I don't mean throw this opportunity in the faces of everyone you meet. Just become a professional friend maker because you never know which one has the need of what you have in your hand. Okay. The conversations are not for you to throw the opportunity in their face. It's not for that reason. It's to make connections so that you can help them get what they want. If you get other people to get what they want, you will eventually get yours. And if you keep that as a focus, I'm connecting with this person to make a friend and to help them get what they want. Keep that as a focus when you're having conversations. I'm gonna make a friend and I'm gonna help them get what they want, even if it's not what I offer. So if somebody's talking, right, and I normally handle my wife's social media, somebody's talking about, I don't know, my wife be doing her hair and it's curly or whatever, and they're talking about curly hair and blah blah blah, and what is the product that you use? I just asked my wife, like, hey, what product you use? I use this product. Okay, I send them a freaking Amazon link here. Get this product. What happens at that moment? That person feels grateful that you just helped them. You just made a friend on social media right there. So if you learn to use the skills that we learned from the Danny Johnson system, which is how to connect with people genuinely, and then we help that person with whatever need they have, even if it doesn't have to do with our product, you're going to make a friend. And out of that friend, they either come back to you for what you have or they refer people. And that's how you become more successful over the time, over years, over whatever, because you just turn into a professional friend maker because you're helping people get what they need, get what they want. So once you learn how to do that genuinely, you don't have to convince anybody. You don't have to sell to anybody. They will naturally feel compelled to ask you, what is that you do? What is it that you offer? Because you just help them. So if you help other people get what they want, you will eventually get what you want. That is a golden rule. And you understand these principles as you get started in your business. You understand what you bring to the marketplace. You understand your value. That connecting with you is super powerful. The person has a privilege to connect with you. And when they connect with you, you give them an opportunity for them to understand who you are, the vision you have for your life, and then maybe they have an opportunity in front of their face that they were waiting for. But they will never know this if you're not confident in yourself and the vision you have for your life. Okay. This is point one and two of my training. I'm not even going deep yet. So I'm not gonna go deeper though. We got like 50 minutes left for the call. And I want to be able to open it up for you to ask any questions. Um, I hope this helps you and really follow directions. One of the things that I've learned is to follow directions from people that have fruit. So watch who you're getting your opinions from. Watch who's having opinions about your business or you. And if they don't have a fruit in their life that you would like to exchange with, don't even listen to them. Okay. Because in this business, you're going to have people that are going to have opinions about what you do, but they don't even have a clue of what this is about. They just have opinions. And most people's opinion is a reflection of themselves. Please keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. when people have opinions about something, it's a reflection of who they are, and out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I want you to really internalize that. So follow directions on what I'm telling you. Stay coachable, stay teachable, because it's gonna get more intense over the next few calls, because we're gonna go deep in all these notes that I got here, and they're gold. They're gold. I mean, we paid thousands of dollars to go to these seminars, and I'm giving it to you little by little. I would suggest that you go to the seminar this upcoming July. It's called First Steps to Success. If you want the link, just send me a text, or send me a messenger, and I'll send you the link for it. If you don't have me on Facebook, look for me on Facebook. All right. It's in the group, the Team 400 Global group. Add me on Facebook, send me a message on Facebook and say, hey, I want the link for the seminar. You have the option to attend the event live. It's in Orlando, and it's the weekend of the 16th, 17th, and 18th of July. They're gonna do something very special they've never done. They're gonna do a cookout. They're gonna do a barbecue. Oh my goodness, I can't go, but it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be in Orlando. I would highly suggest that you go to the seminar. Um, so just send me a message through Messenger, and I'll send you the link for that. But I'm gonna open it up for you to ask me any question, any struggles that you're going through that you need help, or anything that you think is blocking you with getting or moving forward. Go ahead and open your mic and just ask away.
I'll share something, or I just want to say that I didn't realize what you said about um, the fear of what people think or say about me, which is the problem that I had,
Mm-hmm.
is actually me not knowing who I am. That kind of really opened up my eyes. And with that, with the gem now, is kind of part of finding who I am in the business, you would say.
When we find out our strengths,
Mhm.
we understand our unique value that we bring. And that is like, nobody can take that away from you. Like, nobody can duplicate you, and nobody can clone you. It's not possible. When you understand your own strengths and what you bring it as like how you bring that as a coach, because you're bringing it with experience of life. I'm telling you, nobody can duplicate you. You bring in so much value that you're like, please, like, somebody joins my team, I should be charging 5,000 freaking dollars. And when you understand this, you don't take no for an answer when somebody says, I don't think I have the money. I don't have the, like, you don't understand that what I'm going to give you is goes beyond the freaking challenge pack. What I'm bringing to you is going to be bigger. It's going to change your life even to another level. And that's what we know. My wife and I, we have the confidence, and we know that when somebody comes into our group, their life changes. It has nothing to do with Beachbody.
Yeah.
We know that we will have someone's life change. We have that confidence. Now, for you to get that confidence, you got to know who you are. What are your strengths? What value do you bring? And every single one of us have it. Every single one of us. But it takes a little bit of, I guess, soul searching and really understanding and be teachable and coachable about what it is. You want to know about the GEM system? Just send me a message and I'll send you the link so that you can get the home study system. It's really amazing. But did I answer your question, Clarabelle?
Yes.
Okay. My goal is for you to leave this call a little bit more clear about what's going on and how your mindset should be. I'm really focusing on helping these, business owners right here in this call to have the correct mindset for their business so that is not what stops them. Your mind, your brain should not be what stops you. And I see that many people struggle with their mindset. But once they unleash, oh my goodness, they're unstoppable. Unstoppable. And these are the people that hit, you know, they just start growing like crazy. And you're like, yep, that person knows who they are. It's over. They're unstoppable. I'm just gonna watch it. Just step back and watch it. Yeah.
Carlos, I would like to share something.
Yes.
Like something that you mentioned that I did really like was that this business allows another people to know who we are. And like I got to experience that this month. And I don't know if you know that we're moving to Louisiana,
Wow.
but I was like so afraid to post about it because I didn't want nobody to know that my husband was already gone. You know what I mean? Like I kind of felt like intimidated by people to know that I was alone. So I didn't really want to share on social media, and I didn't. And I think that was maybe like a good opportunity for me to talk about the whole situation. But at the same time, I was like, you know, like scared at the same time, like never been alone with the kids for so long. But that was one thing. And then another thing is that I had surgery in my mouth and I was all swollen and I didn't want to show up like that. And those are things that really stop your business. Like I've been doing so great. And this tells me like if I don't show up the way I'm supposed to and let people know who I am and what's going on in my life, then nobody's gonna join that month. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been able to do my numbers yet. And usually by the 10th, I'm done with my numbers.
Yeah.
But it was like my mindset, I couldn't switch it. You know what I mean? It was like I was so, like I just said, I was like afraid. I didn't want to share it.
Yeah.
Intimidated, like what people are gonna think. You never know, a crazy person can come to my house. I don't know. Things like that.
Yeah. And it's your brain looking for security and just being safe, right?
Yeah.
I would suggest, if you allow me to suggest anything,
Yeah.
okay, that your husband is comfortable with that. So is your husband okay with you sharing that you guys are going on a new change in your life?
I mean, it's like I announced it that we were moving to Louisiana. I took pictures that we're packing, but
Yeah.
I didn't say he's gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we've been alone like since the first week of June. He's now coming on Friday to pick us up. So we leave on Sunday.
Mhm.
But this whole time I could have went on social media and post about it and talk about it, but I just couldn't. It wouldn't come out. And
Well,
I didn't.
that has a lot to do with just it's just here's a an understanding I got about fear. Fear comes from the feeling of lack. And when you are lacking something, you become fearful. So what did you fear a lack of? And it's just a sense of security, like a lack of security produced a fear in you about talking about that. So you think that you were not secure enough. Now, was that true?
No.
It was a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to learn as people to really manage our drama in our head. And one of the things that I've learned over the years and through coaching people is understanding that there's always going to be drama here. But if we learn to discern what things are true and which things are not true. Then we decide to act on that or not. At that moment, what did you decide to do when you felt fear about not being secured to not share that? What did you do? What were you doing?
I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, pretty much. I kept avoiding it.
Yeah.
I kept not doing my job,
Yeah.
you know?
So thoughts, if you're taking notes, thoughts will drive a feeling. And how did you feel? Afraid, right? You were like, "Ooh,
Insecure. Mhm.
I'm not gonna." And then that feeling drives what? An action. And the action is, I'm gonna step back and I'm not gonna talk about that. But guess what? Every action that you take produces fruit. And what fruit do you have from that action right now?
Nothing. Nothing. And that's why I wanted to share it with the girls, because it taught me a lesson. Since the beginning of the year, my numbers have been good, and I've been doing, my success club 10, and I was very happy, and I can still do it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm waking up, but it took me 3 weeks and a half for me to wake up. Now that I know that he's coming, it's like now I feel like fine to talk, and it's just so stupid.
Yeah. What I want you to do is to not judge yourself. Please do not judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. You are human, okay? You're just having an experience right now. But don't judge yourself. Be totally at peace at that. But now you know what to do,
Mhm.
right? Just take action. And if some lie comes into your head, just get like in Spanish we say ata that thought. So just grab that thought and just bind it and throw it out because it has nothing to do with you being who you are. Sometimes thoughts, we have to bind them and just throw them out because we if we allow thoughts that are not true to run our lives, we're going to end up with the fruit that we don't want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And see, I think a lot of new coaches go through this
Yeah.
because they have the motivation, and they're so excited, they want to do great in this business. But as a new coach also, you have the feeling that you don't want to allow other people to know who you are. And if you don't open yourself to other people, then the business is not going to grow.
Now you hit something that's really sensitive. If you don't want people to know who you are, then what is it that you're not proud of yourself? What's going on? And that right there, you need to really, really soul search as to why you don't want people to know who you really are. Can you really look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of who you are? So then that's more personal development that's got to be done. That's more, um, a little bit more digging. And most of the time is that we have unresolved issues with past people. And we have unresolved issues with people in the past. It could be family members or it could be an ex or something like that that we don't want to be exposed to in social media. Therefore, we stop our social media presence because we don't want those people to see us. But when you become free, and I'm talking about free from the point of forgiveness, and you forgive those people that have done something against you, and you totally understand that forgiveness is the key to freedom. Well, that's point number 11 in my notes. The truth is it lies right here. When you are able to forgive other people that have done wrong to you, you will become unstoppable. Totally unstoppable. Like nobody could tell you anything because nothing will phase you, nothing will move you out of your peace because your heart is like like it's not heavy anymore. It's just joy. But you got to get to that level where you understand that forgiveness is the key to freedom. And us, as you know, I don't know the majority here, but as a Christian, I know I am mandated to forgive people. It's a must. And the faster and the faster I make that decision to forgive people that have done wrong to me, the faster I reach freedom, and free to be me, free who I am. It took me about 5 years for me to understand this as I was going through the seminars. And in one seminar, we had a spiritual equipping, and I understood that I had to forgive my father because he had some issues with my mom when I was a kid and they got divorced. And in my mind, I was keeping a feeling against my father because he didn't fight for us, my sister and I. And in my mind, I thought that he was wrong for that. And I resented my father. And I'm realizing this. I'm 38 years old, and I'm like, I what? I just need to forgive him. And when I forgave my father, I felt like a new person because there are things sometimes that we're not letting go to be ourselves. We have to learn to let go to be ourselves because there's people in the past that they either did us wrong, we were abused, or we were done wrong, or it could be a woman in your life that did it, or it could be a man in your life that did it. And because of that, it's hard for you to have a good relationship with other people or to expose yourself. And it's good that you brought that up because it is, man, it's part of the self discovery phase where you understand that if you forgive people that did wrong to you, social media would be, oh my goodness, it would be so powerful for you because you have nothing to stop you. Most people don't share on social media because they think of somebody immediately. They go, oh, what if such and such sees this? What if my pastor sees this? What if my friend from college sees this? What if my ex sees this? It's all garbage. Forgive the person, but you got to get to that point when you understand that forgiveness is the key to freedom. Sometimes we got to forget our parents. Yeah, so I'm just, that's why I talked about my side, because I did have to forgive my father for that. And when I did that, I felt different. As a man, I felt different. So maybe you have to look into that. Because some people think that they don't have to forgive their parents, and we all do. There's something your parents did, even though you may think, oh no, my parents are fine. My parents are, there is a conversation you don't even dare to have with your parents, with one of them. And that right there is resentment. But anyway, that's another call because that one is spiritual equipping. Oh man. I love the different levels that humankind have. Like we just complicated beings. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Something itching. Go ahead and let it out. If it's like right here in the gut, it's like I gotta say something. Say it. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Okay. All right. So then, hopefully, this will help you. If you haven't seen the call from last week, please take a look at it. It was really good. It was about overcoming skepticism from others. It was a really good call. Take a look at it. It's already recorded in YouTube. I put the link in there in the group. And like I said, I'm not gonna be here for next call, but Val is going to be the one directing the call next week. And thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to be here and take notes and share. And I'll see you next time, I guess in about 2 weeks. So good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you, Carlos.
Bye.